Gratitude has the power that the minute you use it, the chains of discouragement fall off. The chains of resentment fall off. The chains of bitterness fall off. And all of the toxic stuff that wrecks your life on the inside, some of us or some of you for generations can be released without blowing your stack because gratitude caused their chains to fall off. Does that make sense? If you're going, how does this work? How in the world does this work? Best thing I think to tell you is this. World War II story, true story. A World War II guy landed on an airfield on the East Coast, and sort of everything back then was dirt runways, and he landed his plane, and then he had to fly to England. Well, he lands there, he goes and has lunch, they fill his plane up with gas, and then he takes off to go fly to England. He's by himself in this plane, and as he's flying, he gets about halfway to England, way out over the Atlantic Ocean, and he hears this on his plane. He's going, oh no. And he looks around and he sees down in the fuselage, he can't get there, but he sees somehow when he was in the airfield, a rat got up into the fuselage. And the rat, he can see exactly what's going on. The rat is chewing on the steering cable, which means if the rat bites through the steering cable snaps, he will have no control. He will plummet thousands of feet and die in a crash landing in the Atlantic Ocean. And he will not be able to control the flight because the steering cable's gone. And he's going, he panics. He's like, I'm surefire dead. He goes, I can't go back because I'm halfway. I can't go forward. I'm going to die. I can watch this rat chewing the stupid steering cable. I am toast. And then he goes, and there's no solution. I can't shoot it. He said, there's no solution. He goes, I can't get to it. And then he remembered. He said, wait a second. Rats are rodents. And rodents live at low altitude. And rodents live under the ground and on top of the ground. He goes, I don't think that rodent can survive a high altitude. So he took his plane and he just started going up, 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 up. And when he up about 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet, he got into such a high altitude, the rat didn't have enough oxygen. The rat died, the gnawing stopped, he went back down, and he flew all the way to England and landed safely. You know what, folks? Praise is an altitude correction. When you and I praise God, when you and I live with gratitude, we end up ascending into the presence of God. And when you're in the presence of God, bitterness is killed off because it can't survive in the presence of God. And when you're in the presence of God, anger and resentment and discouragement dies off because you're up in the altitude where the grace of God has replaced that stuff with gratitude. Does that make sense?